Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin and its valuations against the US dollar on the macro scale. I'd like to do these as often as I can. However, because we're looking at the macro scale, looking at it daily might not show, I guess, a more exciting chart. But every now and then, I do try to, zoom out, as everyone would say, to take a look at the progress of Bitcoin on the macro scale. So here, I do not have Bitstamp, which is usually what I go off of for shorter term price action. But for macro scale, I like to use the BLX on the monthly timeline. The BLX, however, is not real time data. We only get daily closes. So as you can see here, it's at $46,000, 46,400. However, right now, at time recording, Bitcoin's at 47. So the uh, kind of idea I wanted to talk about with Bitcoin at the moment is, well, how far extended we are, and there is no question that we're currently very extended. Okay. Um, we were extended for months, and it can continue on like this. I'm not saying that a correction's happening anytime soon, but we have been overextended. But there's certain indicators out there on macro timeline that would help us indicate, I guess, when the top is. So one way to look at it is to look on the weekly and look at the 20-week moving average. Here we could see that as long as Bitcoin's above the 20-week moving average, the bull market will stay intact. Um, we saw it in the last run, in the run before that. The 20-week moving average was instrumental into propelling Bitcoin's price to further and further highs. At the moment right now, we're currently rallying far above. We got pretty close, relatively close since the last time we were at there. We were about a 17% drop, 20% drop to the 20-week moving average a few weeks ago, at the week of January 18th. We were the closest we've ever been to the 20-week moving average in a very long time. Having said that, right now um, we're 95% above the 20-week moving average, and just looking at where usually we kind of top out in the bull runs are uh, around the 60% up is when we start to look at Bitcoin potentially coming back to the 20-week. The highest it's ever been was about 182% above the 20-week moving average, and that was the blow off top. Here you could see in the bull run prior to the past one, it was 300% and 364%. So we are looking for that potential blow off top off the 20-week moving average to potentially help indicate where the top might be. And right now, the highest we've been in this run is 122%. I would also attribute this one to also be a blow off top. It measures at 72% right now, but when you factor in that it closed underneath the wick, if we go to the high, then we see it as 100%. So anything above 100%, three times, or how many times has it been? One, two, three, four, five. Five times we went above 100% above the 20-week moving average, indicated that um, a correction was due that would cause the Bitcoin price to go below the 20-week and further continue to the downside. We saw that potentially happen. We thought there was a possibility of it happening the first week of January, when we went about 134% of the highs and about 114% or so at the weekly close. But we have yet not broken through the 20-week, nor have we made contact with the 20-week since September. So this is one indication. Um, Albeit at the moment right now, it's the data shows that four times out of five, when it gets that level above 100%, it can pop. However, this would be a pretty big asterisk, I guess. Um, we don't know when the blow off top will happen. It could happen now when Bitcoin's at 50K, when Bitcoin's at 70, when Bitcoin's at 80 or 100 or 200. We don't know. That's the thing about bubbles is you can identify when we're in a bubble, but you don't know when the bubble will pop. It could be a catalyst, could be very bad news. It could be just weeks of downwards price action to get people scared and start selling off their positions. It could be a number of things. However, in my books, I believe that when we get above the 20-week moving average to a certain degree, it makes me extremely cautious, and that's kind of where I am right now. Um, this one here, when it was at 122%, was a very good chance for it not to go our way. But also bear in mind that if we are in a macro bull run, then uh, I also believe that this is going to take a lot longer than people might expect. Um, so that's another factor as well. Having said that, we have seen bull runs before where it got to from 3,000 to $14,000 and it popped and we continued our way down. Moving on to the RSI. Now the RSI on the monthly scale I think is quite helpful. And you'll see I have two orange lines here, which I'm going to remove and bring up the RSI. So the monthly RSI, we're currently at 89. 89 on the RSI. And I've been telling you, we've been for pretty extended for quite a while. I mean, ever since November, we've been outside of we have been in the overbought territory. So if that's any inclination on how long Bitcoin can stay overextended, well, there you go. Um, Bitcoin was overextended since December of 2016, and it didn't re-enter the zone until February of 2018. So again, any inclination to tell you how long Bitcoin can stay overbought, quite a long time. However, we notice that Bitcoin on the monthly RSI tends to have a ceiling more or less, and it's around in the high 90s, in the general 90s range. We have 96, we have 96, we have 94, we have 96, and currently we're at 89. Now, one thing to also consider, if this trend can't last forever, the one that we're currently on, I don't think it's sustainable. And regardless of that fact, I'll take a full advantage of it as best as I can by selling off my position. However, if we are to continue this move on the RSI, we would roughly be at the same level, that pseudo glass ceiling I'm talking about, by May of 2021. That's 1, 2, 3 more months, not including February. That's how insane that looks. To me, that doesn't seem attainable. Doesn't seem like quite possible, and not something that I'm worth betting on. However, it can happen, and you need a plan for any situation that comes about. If and that's why I always try to preach to have some kind of plan. It doesn't have to be my plan. It has to be a plan that works for you and what you're comfortable with, and for you to have an understanding of if A happens, then B. If C absent happens, then go D. Kind of mentality with this, and if you have that, then navigating through these markets isn't as stressful as it could be. Having said that, if we continue to move up at this rate, I anticipate that I'll be selling a lot faster, uh, because uh, of what history has shown us. When we get to this area, it's not right at 96. We saw a bump at 94, but when we get to around a 96, high 90s level, we see the blow off top happen with Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin has a blow off top, then and I don't know about you, but my altcoin positions are probably I'll probably be dropping my altcoin positions whenever that does happen. I mean, along the way, I will be anticipating on selling. Like Chainlink is coming up to a sell point for me. Um, Uniswap, I'm considering selling a position. Ethereum, I already got stopped out and sold a part of my position there. Um, Celsius as well. These tokens, not to say that I'm waiting for the blow off top, I'll be naturally selling along the way. But if, say, my projection is to 2022, January 2022, for example, if we get to a high 90s Bitcoin by May, okay, that's only 3 months. I might still have a considerable position left in my altcoins and my Bitcoins by then. And at that point, I'll probably be selling very aggressively, if that time comes. Having said that, I don't think it's not going to last for 3 months like this. Um, I expect a correction to happen. It's going to be bad. I don't know when it's going to happen. And I want to really emphasize that. No one knows how it's going to, like, a correction's going to happen. I'm not going to say that I don't think this correction's going to break the 20 week. It could, but even a crash down to the 20 week is pretty bad. That's a 50% drop. Okay, 50% drop. Now, most of you who are probably watching this channel will scoff at the idea of a 50% drop. You've been through the 2017 bull run, I bet, and you've been at the 2018 dump, and you saw a $20,000 Bitcoin get eviscerated to $3,000. So this might not be phasing you, but for a lot of people, it will. Um, I can tell you that if we do reach the 20 week, I'll be aggressively buying Bitcoin, because as history has shown, it's a good time to buy. But there is the risk. And the higher we go, the more likely the risk of that happens. And what I mean by that is breaking of the 20 week and potentially calling the party off. So this video is just wanting to have you guys look at the monthly chart of Bitcoin. You guys might be more invested into altcoins, but I assure you, you should be aware of what Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin's going to do, and where it's at in its market cycle. Because if Bitcoin drops and breaks the 20 week or has a blow off top, then altcoins are going to bleed so hard that a lot of valuation is going to disappear. I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but when it does happen, you have to be ready. And I would add on to that and say you should probably be already out by the time that happens, and um, that's what I'm trying to do, and that's basically what this whole channel is all about. Kind of just taking a video journal of my journey through crypto that I share with all of you guys, and fighting through the muck and trying to get out the door as fast as I can with as much profits as I can. Having said that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.